that we've totally had each other's back.
Mm.
And people, because it doesn't sensationalize.
Even Aaron?
Of course. It's so hard for me to talk about it for a lot of reasons. One, because we just loved him very much.
Yeah. Yeah. Getting emotional talking about it. I don't want to put you in an uncomfortable place.
It's not that.
No, I don't mean now. I feel bad.
And his family, it's tough. We obviously loved him very much.
Yeah. Did you have a relationship with him outside of football?
Yeah.
And like in the professionals as well?
Yeah. I mean, I was signed with the Patriots not long before a lot of that went down.
Yeah.
And it's just, hard what he went through. And I mean, I think there's probably a weight that I feel.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you could have done something?
Should have. But also you got to understand.
That's not your responsibility. Do you think that is? Do you carry that?
Sometimes. Yeah. But I think that, when people ask, there's a reason that I don't say anything, because why would I talk about it when he's still, so much of his family has been hurt and gone through this. And it's easy for people to just talk and make shows and highlight, and also not always share all of the sides of it.
Yeah.
They don't share the other sides of him. They don't share how hard certain things were for him. They don't share it just doesn't take a full picture. Like, he had to go through a whole lot, but he was also someone that a lot of times was trying. And, he's a young man that did a devotional for 6 months in a row with me a lot of times, and Coach Meyer a lot of times. He was, just the whole picture should be painted. I just think it's not, they don't, there's one of the stories that they tell is, me and him are at a restaurant, and they frame it as a bar, which is a bar, but it's also a restaurant. I think it's maybe Sunday evening or Monday evening.
Chili's is a bar.
Yes. Yeah. It's I can't remember what time. It's always claimed it's late at night. It's like 8 o'clock or something. Yeah. And he, long story made short, he gets into an altar. You can't even say that because it's not fair to him. What certain people were saying to him was so horrifically evil that we're trying to leave. And what people are saying to him is so mean and racist and dehumanizing to him. And I'm standing in between a few people, and they just know these are the football players. They're just trying to go at him, and more so than me. And I also feel like that was wrong. No, you should say that to me, And he was so patient over and over and over again. They're saying this, and they're finger poking him, and it's super disrespectful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we get downstairs, and we get almost all the way out, and they keep saying and saying. I'm saying, we're good. You got it. Come on, keep going. Just don't listen, And man, it was just kept going, and they kept poking him, saying all these things. And he turned and he busted the guy's eardrum. And I stood there. I had some people take him to another place for him to be safe. I waited. Cops came, talked to all the cops, told him everything that happened. But that story is painted like, oh no, this guy
he's
just
looking for trouble.
He's looking for trouble, it's like I'm not defending him. I'm not defending his actions. I'm just saying, when you paint the picture, like
you have a lot of compassion.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing, man.
But people, it's just obviously there's some horrible things that he did.
Of course,
I'm not defending that whatsoever. I'm just saying, if you're talking about him, would you at least try to paint it accurately?
That's like a three-dimensional version of a human being. This is what we were talking earlier. And I wonder if I'm curious where you think your compassion comes from, because I think now especially it's very brave to show compassion to people who aren't like internet perfect. It's like very easy, like when somebody's like perfect on the internet, to be like, yeah, they're a good guy. But when people like aren't perceived to be a good guy and still look at them as human beings, I think that takes bravery now, because there's always going to be scrutiny attached to that. Now, personally, I think that we should be treating everybody like human beings, especially the people that we disagree with. And a lot of times there's this mudslinging
Always,
contest that
everybody.
exists on the internet that is...
Shouldn't be a choice.
Yes.
Everyone.
Where does the compassion come from?
I'd probably say the start of it for me was when I was 15 years old, and I was in the jungles of the Philippines, and in a very remote island. Philippines is made up of over 7,000 islands, many of them very remote. And in a very remote island, and I met a boy who was born with his feet on backwards. And because of that, his village treated him as less than insignificant and cursed, and he was a throwaway to them. Yeah. And they treated him as equal to the trash. And I just fell in love with that boy. And I knew that he wasn't a throwaway to God, but I also knew that God was pricking my heart saying, yeah, but what are you going to do about it? It's not enough to feel something. What are you going to do? And that was really the start of what I believed the first time I felt called to something. And then I went through college, and the first thing I did when I graduated, because this is before NIL, right? You couldn't have a foundation in college.
You would have been a trillionaire during NIL. Oh my God.
But one of the first things I did was start the foundation with the mission statement, just thinking about that boy and all the boys and girls around the world that are suffering like he is, with the mission statement to bring faith, hope, and love to those needing a brighter day in their darkest hour of need. To sum it up, it's a fight for people that can't fight for themselves. And that was very impactful for me. And there's 4 or 5 other stories that really wrecked my heart in the best way possible.
So it's 15 years old.
Yeah.
Severe emotional reaction to seeing the way that this kid is being treated.
Yeah.
And you feel compelled to do something about it.
Yes.
At this point in time, like, would you say your faith is as strong as it is now? Was it... You're still trying to understand it. Like, where are you in your journey?
Good question. Definitely a believer, but also, figuring out what does that mean? What does that mean for my life? What does that mean for actions? What does that mean to feel called to something? And I couldn't have necessarily articulated in the same way then. I remember coming home and I was writing the testimony of this and being like, I don't even know how to describe what just happened. Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to your parents about it?
I did. I talked to my parents, and I still have that testimony that I wrote, because I wrote out the story of when I got back. And that boy has been a big inspiration for a lot of stuff.
Is he still involved in your life?
No, I've never seen him again.
Get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a remote jungle. Yeah, how do you get in touch with him?
Especially this is way before all of the
internet and everything. Stuff, but yeah. Wow. So if he's God willing still around... does he know the impact that he's had on your life? Like,
now we have a hospital in the Philippines that takes in all the boys and girls like him, and we operate, and they get wheeled in and they walk out. And that's one of my favorite things we get to do.
That's amazing, man.
Oh, we got to find this kid. There's got to be a way.